Yes. Alrighty. What's up, everybody? It is I, your tribal god of extreme, Peter Joseph here for video number 2. Video number 2 on your 2 for Tuesday, June the 16th, 2026. Or if you're now watching on the replay, or tomorrow, it is now June the 17th, 2026, as we have pretty much hit the midpoint. Got about a little under 2 weeks to go before the end of the first half of The Price is Right. The first half of the year. And we'll begin July in about 2 weeks from today. Or when you watch this tomorrow, really. But we get that. So, thank you all for watching on this late Tuesday night, June the 16th, 2026. Right here on the home of all things ranting. The very fucking legend. Gary. Very legendary, home of all things ranting. It is the one, the only, G Rants. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you like the video. Hit the subscribe button down there in my pants. Otherwise known as the description box below. Share the video all over the internet. Leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos on this channel and my respective channels as well. But don't leave stupid comments. You get slapped violently and then sent to the Shadow Realm where Satan and Ozzy will come out and kick your ass again and then eat your soul. So don't do it. Go to your dead channel and do that shit. Because nobody cares about what you have to say. People love what I have to say because I'm real, you're not. And that's that. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because you miss anything, you're SOL. I think we all know what that means by now. It's been almost 17 years. I think we should know what that means by now. So, if you don't know, too bad. That's that. Alright, so like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and all that other good shit. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab the tasty cold one, mango. Mango Dunkin' Refresher, baby. Not a mixed drink. Not anything like that, because I don't drink. And if you think I do, you gotta have proof of that, so go fuck yourself, bitch. Excuse me. So, grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. Sit back, relax, put your feet up, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, well, fuck you, man. And that's that. Let me move on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, really quickly want to get this video out of the way. So I'm going to sleep, because I am tired. And I have to do some things tomorrow. I have a lot to do tomorrow. I got work, and I'm going to work for a little bit, and I have to go do some errands. I won't be back till pretty much late tomorrow night. So I'm going to be out pretty much all day after I finish work. I'm going to be out. I got appointments. I got a lot of shit to do tomorrow. And over the next couple weeks. So, busy I will be. And that's pretty much it. If you don't believe me, too bad. Because you got nothing going on in your life. I actually do. So, below me, bitch. And that's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, if you're brand new here, welcome to the party. I said that before. Grab your cold one, enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, then fuck you. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. Check out my Raw Thoughts video. Link will be down below in the gobbledygook in the description box. Check it out. And that's that. Alright, on video number 2, on this late Tuesday night, or Wednesday morning, whatever you may be watching this from. I haven't done a rant in a long time, and I think the last actual rant I did was about wrestling, of course. But check out my last actual rant video on this channel. So go back a video, watch it, and that's pretty much it. I have some other related wrestling videos. Check those out on my short section. They're great. They're legendary. And that's pretty much it. Alright, guys, like I said, I gotta do this rant. This is a little bit out of date because, yeah, this came out pretty much on Monday, and I wanted to do it Monday, but it was so backed up I didn't have a chance to do it. So you're getting it today. So you're getting it a day or so late. Now, I have a little series on my channels over the last couple of videos. I've had a series called Shut the Fuck Up. Now, if you don't know what shut the fuck up means, it means I do a rant where celebrities or sports figures in wrestling and baseball, hockey, stuff like that, or politics, or music and movies, they just come out the woodwork and say the most stupidest fucking shit. So I, being the great man that I am, have to put them in their place and basically tell them to shut the fuck up. So our next candidate in the Shut the Fuck Up, well, not the Hall of Fame, but the next contestant on Shut the Fuck Up, this man, this big fat fuck, he's a celebrity. He has fought for AEW, mostly in Ring of Honor. He's teamed up with QT Marshall Not in Boom and Doom. And his name, ladies and gentlemen, is Paul Walter Hauser. This guy, you know, he's a pretty decent wrestler. He had that epic fight without honor match, a final battle against QT Marshall, not at the ECW arena. So I gave him praise for all that. But it is a big but, and it stinks. This motherfucker comes out. Now, we just had, over the weekend, we had the epic, well, I didn't see it because I didn't care about it. But I'll say epic anyway, because I love to say epic. But we have the UFC Freedom 250 event outside of the White House. And, like I said, I did not see it because I don't like the UFC as it is, because I think it's a joke. MMA is a joke. UFC is a joke. You know, back in my day, I used to watch Quinton Rampage Jackson and Brock Lesnar, a little bit of Conor McGregor, you know, the Spider, and all those great people that used to, you know, came out of the MMA. Ronda Rousey a little bit, Gina Carano. You know, stuff like that. But I don't watch UFC anymore. I think it's boring, and, you know, I'll watch a few fights here and there if it seems like a good fight between two people I actually know. So I think Conor McGregor has a fight coming up. I might watch that. Well, we'll see. But anyway, so they had the event on the White House lawn, which, you know, got a lot of scrutiny because, you know, people were trying to fuck it up because you know, our great president, Donald Trump, it was huge. He was there, but it came off without a hitch. Nothing happened and shit like that. But anyway, there's a lot of celebrities there. Donald Trump, obviously, there. The vice president, J.D. Vance. But one of those celebrities that was there was our tribal chief. Put up your ones, ladies and gentlemen, and acknowledge the man. And that's Roman fucking Reigns. And he was there sitting front and center. You know, Triple H was there as well. A few others, I believe Nick Cotman and Shane O'Mac, Shane O'Mac. You know, there's a lot of wrestlers there and some high-profile celebrities. But like I said, with this rant, Roman was there, and Paul Walter Hauser comes out on social media and opens his big mouth. I mean, he has a big mouth. He's a fat fuck of a big mouth. He comes out and basically called Roman Reigns a dork for attending this little shindig UFC thing. And it wasn't because Roman showed up at the White House. Now, Roman was part of the UFC Freedom 250 event on the White House lawn on Sunday with TKO, the great company that is, putting the OTC front and center on social media. Roman then reposted the moment with his usual, acknowledge me emoji. And Paul Walter Hauser, the big fat fuck that he is, immediately jumped in and commented, calling him an actual dork while taking shots at his part-time WWE schedule. You do know, Paul, he is the champ, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants. So, anyway. So that was that, and fans were revolting. I'll get to that part in a little bit. So anyway, now, Paul Walter Hauser is making it clear what really set him off, and he posted another message on Twitter, said his problem with Roman was Roman using his massive platform, I guess Twitter and the WWE, to make the White House event look cool. Well, if Hunter was there and Shane McMahon and maybe if The Rock was there, this would have been a problem? Hypocrite? So basically, he's saying Roman used his massive platform, I guess meaning Twitter or the WWE, to make the White House event look cool. Hauser said he probably would have not cared if a much smaller wrestling name attended the event. Oh, like who? Cody? Cody's a big name. Nobody would have... not many people would have cared about Cody. Fuck Cody, by the way. But if it was somebody smaller, like Braun Breaker, or, Mr. Danhausen, or someone like that, Paul Walter Hauser would have had a problem with that. But it's just our tribal chief, the World Heavyweight Champion, he has a big problem with. Idiot. Paul Walter Hauser guy is a big-time, fat, fucking idiot. But Roman is not some random guy on the card, obviously. Alright, so, he said, and I quote, this is from Ringside News, by the way, why the fuck do you think I'm mad at Roman for attending that sewage on the White House lawn? Well, the event was garbage anyway, so I give him that, but then you call him a dork? If El Dandy or Mike Enos, wow, Mike Enos, that's a name I haven't heard in a while. He's a former wrestler. If El Dandy or Mike Enos or the ghost of George Hackenschmidt attended, I really wouldn't care. But, like I said, Roman's a big name, but if it was like William Yuta, God forbid, William Yuta was there. I have no problem with William Yuta. Tony Khan's there. Tony Khan's there. I don't have no problem with Tony Khan. It's just Roman, right? Everybody has to say some shit about Roman. And what happens? They look like fucking idiots. Right, Maven? Even though he says stuff about The Undertaker, but that's another stuff for another time. Other people have said some shit about Roman, and, he's a part-timer. We're not gonna see him. He's the champion. We're not gonna see him. We've seen him pretty much the entire summer. After WrestleMania, he says, I'm gonna be here throughout the summer. So we saw him most of May. We saw him tonight, or earlier on Monday, excuse me. We didn't see him last week, because, he had some other things to do. Then we saw him after that. He's not going to be at, I don't believe he's going to be at Night of Champions. We should see him next week on the program in London. And then, pretty much, the 29th, we're going to see him. And I think that might be it, because I don't think he has any shows in July. And then, we'll see him by, we'll see him at Fanatics Fest. But, TV-wise, I think in July, he'd probably be on a couple of Raws, might be on Saturday's main event, July 18th from Madison Square Garden. And then he might be hyping up SummerSlam where he will face, we don't know yet. It could be Oba. It could be Jey Uso. It could be, who knows right now. We'll have to see what happens next Saturday afternoon in the Land of Sand, Saudi Arabia, with the King of the Ring tournament. So anyway, so he says that. Then he got to the point, and he said Roman has influence, you think, children, he has a lot, and a giant fan base, you think, and it still appeared to co-sign the whole thing. Alright, so Paul Walter Hauser says, Roman has a platform and 3 children, and he's going, yeah, this is cool, I'm into it. Okay. You do know Roman has been at the Super Bowl, and he roots for the Niners? Mm-hmm. That's a good man to root for the Niners. So the Usos and Jacob all root for the Niners. Naomi roots for the Niners. Bayley roots for the Niners, obviously, because she hangs out with George Kittle a lot. And his hot wife. Paul Heyman's a 49er fan. There's a few wrestlers that are 49er fans. Pentagon is a good friends with George Kittle, and I think Ray Phoenix. And yeah, there's a lot. I can't remember everybody that's a Niners fan, but you get the point. So Hauser's issue was not just Roman being in the building, it was Roman being Roman Reigns, one of WWE's biggest stars, and publicly attaching himself to an event Hauser clearly hated. And this adds more context to Hauser's original shot, where he mocked Roman for rarely wrestling and said guys like, Darby Allin, hi guys, Darby, I'm involved in this, I don't understand why. Yeah, because you have a guy that works in your company that's a fat fuck. And Kenny, by God Omega, work every week without asking fans to acknowledge them. Really now. Roman hasn't responded to Hauser's latest explanation. He doesn't have to. Roman doesn't even know who the fuck this guy is. You know? Roman don't care about some mediocre fat fuck that works in AEW or really Ring of Honor. Nobody cares about Paul Walter Hauser, and he had that stupid fucking trophy. Fuck him. But anyway, Hauser is not walking it back. He thinks Roman's White House appearance mattered because of the size of his platform. Made sure everyone knew that was the real reason he went after him. He went on to say what I mentioned before with the kids. Blah, blah, blah. This was from Monday. And that's that. That pissed me off. So Paul Walter Hauser, fuck you, man. You insignificant, irrelevant, fat fuck. And now the IWC, as always, gets into a big roar, and unhinged Roman Reigns fans target Paul Walter Hauser's family photos after calling him a dork. So this is like a little bit of part 2. So Paul Walter Hauser's Roman Reigns comments have now spilled way past wrestling talk. He's been getting heat from Roman Reigns fans after calling out the OTC for showing up at the UFC Freedom 250 event on the White House lawn. He already said his issue was not just Roman being there, but Roman using his platform to make the event look cool, like I mentioned before. Now, Hauser says some fans are taking it to his Instagram page, please do not follow him, and dragging his family into it. But this is how fans are. They're so passionate about Roman that they're going to go on his Instagram page, wish death on him, this and that. I'm not going to be one to do that. I'm just going to say, Paul Walter Hauser, shut the fuck up. That's it. So Hauser posted screenshots on X showing nasty comments left under his Instagram family photos. Going after going after someone's family because he, just because he said something about Roman, these fucking criminals, basically, these teenagers, they have to be in the demographic, I assumed, 18 to 35, or maybe close to my age, thinking they're so big and bad and have to make fun of his family, dox him and stuff like that. I think that's stupid, and those people should be thrown in jail and thrown off the internet. That's how I feel. I wouldn't do something like that. I'm a man of class, and I'm just gonna come on YouTube or whatever social media platform I'm on and just say my piece and say, hey, shut your fucking mouth. Okay? You may have an opinion, but other people's opinions matter more than you. And that includes mine, there, Paul. So you're gonna listen to what I have to say. And frankly, what I have to say is, fuck you. That's that. So you have these stupid fucking IWC morons, probably Marks too, who knows, leaving nasty comments under his Instagram family photos. He said Roman fans were attacking him on Instagram because he used what he called the quote-unquote inarguably uncontroversial word dork. The screenshots show comments aimed at Hauser's wife, his kids, and his weight. One account even went after family pictures, while another profile shown in Hauser's post was private. That's where the whole thing went from a wrestling argument, to straight up ugly, because you know how these fucking marks are. They think they can get away with it. Can't get away with it. You're gonna get caught, and you're gonna get in big, humongous trouble. And you can't just take down the post or take down what you said because it's still on the internet, motherfuckers. And that's pretty much it. Anyway, Hauser can take shots at Roman. Fans can clap back. That's how social media works. You know, it's an old saying, it's better to not say anything. Well, better to not say anything at all than saying something at all. Something like that. I forget the actual quote. I might have messed it up. I apologize. But it's better to leave things alone than say something really dumb, because in the end it could come back and bite you in the ass. You know, I said some really mean, really stupid shit. I thought it was a sarcastic joke back a couple years ago. I'm still getting hounded for that shit. And personally, I don't care. I don't care. I mean, I care what I said in 2022-23. And I'm still getting hounded on it by people that just can't let shit go. They say I'm a cat rapist. No. I love all animals. You know, they're saying, oh, my cat died because I raped the cat. I'm like, come on now. Really? The cat died because of cancer, you fuck. It just boggles my mind that people say things on the internet and people just twist it, wrap around their fucking finger, put it up their ass, and then unplug their ass and say some stupid, dumb shit. You know what that's called? Slander. And then people are like, oh, Peter, you don't take accountability for that. Oh, yeah, I did. It was a stupid joke that I should have never said, but I was trying to make a point in that forum I was on 3 somewhat years ago, because that a person on the panel was basically an animal abuser. And I didn't like it. And I said, hey, you know, if I did this to my animal, does that make me a bad person? Being sarcastic. I said that as a sarcastic joke. And I was waiting for people like, you know. And then it took like 3, 5, 6 seconds. Then finally like, oh yeah. Why would you do that? Why would you say that? Because, you know. And then, you know, I left the panel because nobody got the joke. 1, nobody got the joke. And 2, it was sarcastic. And yeah, I could have handled it a little bit better. I could have said, hey, it was a joke. It's a joke. And then people are like, oh, it was a stupid joke. And I would just said, I was like, okay, whatever you want to believe. So I handled it wrong, but even apologizing for it, didn't help my case. And I'm still getting, like 3 years later, I'm getting still handled and called a cat rapist and stuff like that. But in reality, I love all animals. I love all animals. But it is what it is. But, But, yeah, fans can say whatever they want. People on this garbage website can say what they want. It doesn't really mean shit. Because words can come back to haunt you. I've had that for almost my entire time here on YouTube. But, I'm going to have an opinion and I'm going to stick to it. If you don't like it, that's tough shit. And people can have opinions about me. I personally don't care because I'm going to be the same person I always am. Because my opinion matters more than your opinion. But I will listen to some opinions if it's like Issa and Joe Cronin and a few other people that I'm good friends with. Anybody else? I pretty much don't give a fuck. But that's that. Anyway. So that's how social media works. And really, in reality, social media should never have ever been invented. The computer should have never been invented. Well, really, the computer should have been invented, but social media as a whole, from AOL, remember when AOL 2.0, 3.0 was invented? The internet, when the internet was invented, that was the downfall of human civilization. Because it was good, the internet works good, you can get research and everything, but it's a double-edged sword, because nowadays people are getting bullied, they're getting doxxed illegally. Just because you don't like somebody, you're going to go and dox them and dox their family and harass their family and this and that. It's stupid. It's stupid, and people are going to go to jail or get hurt. And who's going to be the one that looks dumb? The person behind the camera that does all that doxing and garbage bullshit because they don't like their opinion. If you don't like somebody's opinion, don't watch. But people will watch because they have nothing better to do, and they're going to stalk somebody for 7 to 10 years and try to kick them off YouTube for the rest of their goddamn life. You do know there are other sites they could go on that have stricter restrictions in some ways, but still, you're not going to stop anybody from doing what they want to do. They're not going to stop them from living their life. Okay, so like I said, if you don't like somebody on YouTube, that's too bad. You're not going to throw them off YouTube just because you don't like them, and then you do stupid baby kindergarten garbage by doxing somebody, trying to get them fired from their jobs or evicted from their house and shit like that. It's just stupid. It's the same thing with people talking about people on social media. They bully them online to get the Hana Kimura effect, and next thing you know, they're dead. Case in point, Daphne. Case in point, Hana Kimura. They got bullied for no apparent reason because people don't like them, and they bullied them saying, "Oh, you're a piece of shit. You're this and that." And, sadly, Daphne and Hana Kimura couldn't take it anymore, and they just basically offed themselves. Just because they were getting bullied online. And really, what they should have done was go to somebody, maybe take a little break from social media, or what now people are doing now, or pretty much shutting down their accounts for a little while, to let things go, or completely ignoring it. I've had times where I just want to leave social media for a while and not come back. I left YouTube for basically 7 months from in the summer of 2017. I didn't come back to January 2018. I hated it. I had the itch to come back a couple of times. I was originally going to be taking off from June 2017 till September, but I felt that it would be better that I take some time off. I was still around, looking at my friends' videos, commenting here and there, but video-wise, I didn't do anything. And then I didn't come back till pretty much after New Year's, a couple days after New Year's 2018, and I came back, and people were like, "Hey, Peter's back, yeah!" So, if I wanted to take some time off, I would do it. So I take little mini breaks, whether people think it's a mini break or not. Oh, you're still on YouTube, this and that. You're still in chat rooms. You're not on a break. That doesn't constitute a break. Actually, it does constitute a break, you dumb fucks. Because I could be on a beach somewhere, I don't even pick up my phone. I could be out all fucking day doing whatever I gotta do on my hiatus, and if I want to listen, if I want to watch Joe Cronin doing a live stream at like 8-9 o'clock at night, if I can watch and say, "Hey Joe, what's going on? Hope you're having a great day. I'm on vacation," blah blah blah. Or if Issa was doing a live stream for NXT or Dynamite, I would just pretty much pop in and say hi. If I'm even watching the show on my vacation, if I'm at a bar or at the hotel or wherever I'm doing it, I would chime in for a little bit, just for a little bit, not like I'm going to be there for the entire show. I would just say, "Hey, I'm at a bar, I'm eating, I'm watching the show. I just wanted to come in and say hi, blah, blah, blah. And I'll talk to you guys when I come back or whatever." So, but I get chastised when I take a mini break. If I take a 3-day break or I take an actual 1-week break, I get chastised because if I go into like Joe Cronin's chat, I go into Issa's chat or whoever it may be, I get chastised. "Oh, you're not on break. You're home. You're this and that." No, you can't prove I'm home because if I said I'm going away, I'm actually going away. And if I prove with evidence that I'm actually on a beach somewhere or at an event or whatever it may be, then you look stupid. But that's the price you pay for social media. You try to keep some of your things private. I try to keep my private life private. But even if I do that, it somehow gets out, and then I get in trouble for it. But at this point, I really don't care. But we move on with that. Alright. But these fucking people that are doing this to Paul Walter Hauser's family, I really think they should have their IP addresses traced, they should get arrested, and thrown off the internet. But that's too much to ask. Jumping into someone's family photos to talk about their wife and children is a different level of weird. No, it's pretty much stalking. So the whole thing started because Paul Walter Hauser called Roman an actual dork over the UFC Freedom 250 appearance. Then he said he would gladly say it to Roman's face if WWE paid him. Oh, you don't want that, because Roman will knock you the fuck out. So that kept the online fight alive, but now the backlash is clearly getting more personal, y'all. Roman hasn't responded to his, Paul Walter Hauser's latest post. He doesn't have to. Like I said, he doesn't have to. It's Roman. Roman can do whatever the fuck he wants, because he's a champ, bitch. But Paul Walter Hauser is putting the receipts out there. He's showing that some fans are not just defending Roman anymore, they are going after his personal life. Because they can't take an opinion. They just can't shut the fuck up and let it go. That's how stupid the IWC is. And people in general, that's how stupid they are. You can't help stupid. And you can't help that the WC are a bunch of fucking marks. Dumb marks. Or in Declan's terms, dumb bitches. The way it is. This may have started as a celebrity taking a shot at WWE's biggest star, but now it's turned into another ugly reminder that some fans take things way too far. We've seen this with like Mommy Rhea Ripley, having her personal phone number out there, and some douchebag, I don't know if he used a burner account and got Mommy Rhea Ripley's phone number and say, hey, and then like texting her, hey, when we're going out. People showing up at her door, basically stalking her. I mean, Alexa Bliss has been stalked. The guy that stalked Liv Morgan, basically can't stand trial because, he's insane, which I think is stupid, to use the insanity route just to get out of this fucking shit. You're not fucking insane, you're just scared. You're scared to go to jail and get butt raped by a guy named Bubba. That's why you're scared and pleading insanity. I wasn't thinking straight. Right. If you're actually insane and a doctor legally says, hey, this guy can't stand trial because he's crazy. But he's playing, he's faking it. I think this guy that stalked Liv Morgan and now his defense team saying, oh, you can't, the doctors say that he's insane. He can't stand trial. That is bullshit. That fucking douchebag that stalked Liv Morgan is a complete fucking liar. I smell cap whenever I see it. He's lying. He's lying to the court. He lied to the psychiatrist or whoever deemed him unfit to stand trial. I think that's a big waste of, stupid. And now, if this trial is over and he gets away with his shit, Liv Morgan's gonna have to be on her P's and Q's once again. Like any other female wrestler or male wrestler. Because you have these fucking so-called fans, showing up at the airport, showing up at the hotel. We talked about this during WrestleMania weekend. Where people coming up to Punk, getting too close to Punk. Punk shoved some guy. Because AJ was saying goodbye to Bayley, and Punk took exception to this fan who got in their face, got too close. He's like, get the fuck away from me. Slammed his phone, broke his phone, whatever. And he deserved to get his phone broken. Luckily, his face didn't get broken. And then Mommy Rhea Ripley's getting mobbed in Italy or France. Obafemi is getting hounded in New York City. It's insane that there's not a lot of security with these big name guys. But I mean, you can have Tony D going to New York and like 6,000 people are hounding him, and where's the security guards? There's only like maybe one or two. I mean, God forbid something happens to like Tony D, or something happens to a big name star like Roman, but Roman has a security detail. He doesn't have to worry about that shit, really. But I think WWE is taking new measures and getting more security for when, the wrestlers come to the arena for the show, they do a meet and greet, whatever it may be. But, like I said, you can't help stupid. So when some fat fuck in his underwear, is on his Commodore 64 computer, going on Twitter trying to voice his opinion and basically saying, oh, Walter Hauser, you're a fucking bitch. If I ever met you in my life, I'd kick your ass. We saw this with the big fat construction worker. Said some mean shit about Matt Riddle. He said to I think Ricochet or a few other people. And what happened? He goes to a show where Matt Riddle was, and Matt Riddle put him in his place. And he's still talking to this day. It's an old saying. Do stupid things, win big. Say stupid things, win big prizes, something like that. So, watch what you say on the internet to certain people and certain wrestlers, especially certain, celebrities, because they can see it, and you're going to be in big trouble because you pretty much slandered their name, and, God forbid, they see you at an event, they're like, oh, you said some shit about me on the internet? Why don't you say it to my face now? I get the same treatment, because nobody's going to say it to my face, and if they tried, they go to jail. I'm just going to smile and say, hi, bye, you go to jail. I don't need to fight, unless I'm, I'll fight if I have to. I'll just play in self-defense. I'll just put somebody in the hospital, and that's all that other shit. I'm in self-defense mode, so I can talk a good game, but if I have to throw down, I'm doing it in self-defense mode. But it is what it is. I mean, nobody's gonna shut me up on my own opinion. My opinion might get me in trouble, but still, I have an opinion, I have a voice, and like I said, I am the voice of the voiceless, like CM Punk says. And if you don't like my opinion, that's too goddamn bad. If I don't like a certain wrestler, I will voice my opinion, but I'm not going to go to the point where I have gone with, where saying, oh, Roman Reigns should die, John Cena should die, stuff like that. I said that in the past, and, yeah, I got heat for it, but I apologized like a man, even when Roman came out with it, when he had leukemia in 2019, and I was like, damn. So I came out on video and did that whole apology video to Roman and his fans, and I said, I take everything back about Roman. I'm sorry that I wish death on him. I didn't wish death on the man. I wish death on the character. I didn't wish death on Joe Anoa'i, or Anoa'i. That's his real name, Joe. And as much as Cena was rammed down our throats, and I'm like, oh, if he died, if he died tomorrow, I wouldn't care. I respect Cena for what he does, but, if he's getting rammed down our throats every fucking week for the last 12 fucking years, I'm getting sick of it. So, every time I see Cena, I'm like, I'm taking a break. I'm not even going to look at the match. If it was a good match, I will look at it, but, his promos are just the same regurgitated BS, or in Roman's terms, missionary position every single night. The same thing with Cody now. I don't like Cody. I'm not going to wish death on Cody. I'm just like, fuck Cody at this point. I just don't like him. I met him when he was in Ring of Honor. He was a good guy, and I said, I respect you. I said, thank you. I miss your dad, Dusty Rhodes, American Cream, baby. He thanked me, and I said, good luck in the Ring of Honor, or whatever. We took a picture together, which I have somewhere on I think I have it on my Facebook page somewhere. I have the autograph somewhere. And then, I'm leaving. He's like, hey, you forgot your picture. I'm like, oh, shit. I felt so stupid leaving, like, walking away without my picture. But thankfully, Cody, being a great man that he is at that time, gave me his picture, and I felt so embarrassed. I go, I'm so sorry. He's like, it's okay. It's okay. Same show I met Ocean Spray, by the way. But, I respect every wrestler and every celebrity that I met, like Ozzy, of course Ozzy's because he's my dad, but I digress. But, you know, there's wrestlers that I hate, like William Yuta, in some ways Darby, you know. I'm just going to give my opinion. I do not like them. I'll make fun of them and say, oh, William Yuta's the type of guy that doesn't shave his legs or some shit like that. You know, I'm hypothetically saying that. But I'm not going to go on social media and say, William Yuta deserves to die. Darby Allin deserves to die, even though he's, you know, a maniac. You know, he's a death-defying person. You know, he needs to calm down because if, you know, something can go wrong, he dies in a ring or he dies doing all these freaking things, jumping off cliffs and shit, climbing Mount Everest. I mean, if he would have died there, it would have been really sad. You know? And even if I did my impression, you know, like Mike Awesome's dead, and I bring Mike Awesome in, and I go, hey, how you going here? Mike Awesome here. I'm awesome. I'm dead, but I'm awesome. You know? People are like, oh, you're disrespecting the dead. No. No, I'm just paying tribute to them. So, you think otherwise, well, that's your stupid opinion, and it doesn't really matter to me. Like somebody said, I disrespected Ricky Hatton. Like, I'm supposed to know who the fuck Ricky Hatton is. What is he? I think he's a race car driver. And somebody made a song about him. Like, some rapper made a song about him. I could care less about the song. I mean, it was, you know... I don't like these mumble rappers. You know, like Ren or Bugsy Malone, whatever the guy's name is. I don't give two fucks. And they're like, oh, you don't like the song because it's about Ricky Hatton, so you're disrespecting Ricky Hatton. Just because you don't like the song. No. If I knew who Ricky Hatton was, I would be like, oh, okay. I probably wouldn't have said anything. But I just don't like the singer. It doesn't mean that I'm disrespecting Ricky Hatton because the song's about Ricky Hatton. No. I just don't like I don't like the song. I don't like the artist. So, if you want to come on YouTube and say, oh, Peter disrespects the dead, he does death videos for clout. And I keep saying, I do not do videos for clout. I do videos as a tribute. That's why my Metal Guy channel partly is a tribute channel to those in the sports realm and the music and movie realm and some politics here and there that, you know, pretty much in my childhood. With those people, Bryson, I didn't do a video about it. I was going to do it, but I held back and I did it, but I mean, it is what it is, but yeah, I'm looking at Paul Walter Hauser's X account, and some of these fucking marks out there that left the comments on his Instagram, just dumb. Dean Regan _86 commented, I heard your wife closes her eyes and pretends it's Roman while your 300 pounds of loose skin is on top of her. Like, I bet you that guy's a virgin. Then again, he can play for the other side. He probably likes a skin pipe. That's my brother's term. Brother from another mother. But I digress. Then another comment, he says, Daddy, come play with me. I can't, son. I have to criticize WWE on X all night. Triggered obese man. Then TrapZV2 commented, bro, I'm not gonna lie, good stuff on that Roman situation, but why did you have to diss El Dandy? He was nothing. So, yeah, somebody will praise him on the Roman situation. Oh, this guy like, oh yeah, you said great, Roman is a dork. you probably like Cody. That's why you said Roman's, you actually agree with the guy. It's like, oh, Roman's a dork. That's a definite Cody fan. Definite Cody fan right there. But, that's pretty much it. But yeah, I mean, let me just say something to Roman Reigns fans really quickly. You don't have to defend Roman. Most of you people do not have to defend Roman. I'm not defending Roman in any way. I just think Paul Walter Hauser needs to shut the fuck up. And just, if Roman wanted to be at the UFC 250 event, he could do whatever the fuck he wants. You're mad at him because he's a part-timer. Big fucking whoop. If it was a full-timer, you're gonna say the same thing? If it was somebody else besides Roman, you're gonna say the same thing? You're gonna call them a dork? Like if it was Cody, you're gonna call Cody a dork? Sometimes you just need to keep your opinions to yourself and don't open your big, fat mouth. Some of you people here on YouTube need to just shut your mouth and keep your vagina closed. And if that applies to me, fine. But if I have something to say and I'm gonna rant about it, nobody can out-rant me and nobody's gonna tell me otherwise. So, oh, why don't you debate us? Why don't you do this and that? I don't have to because your opinions don't matter to me. And if you want to call me a pussy, fine, but I get more pussy than you anyway. And that's combined, by the way. So say what you want about this video. I'm not defending Roman in any way. I'm just telling Paul Walter Hauser to shut the fuck up. And don't mention my tribal chief ever again. So in some way I am defending Roman, but I'm just telling Paul Walter Hauser to shut the fuck up. And on the other side of the coin, I'm telling all these fake as fuck wrestling fans in the WC, you guys need to chill out. Chill out with the fucking stalking and going after a wrestler's family or a social media influencer's family or, whoever it may be, and then you do the video, and then in the comments there are a bunch of people saying, hey, that was wrong and this and that, you're a complete fucking idiot, and then you have a big fucking war in the comments saying, going back and forth, and then next thing you know, they take it too far and dox people and do the same fucking dumb BS that's been around since like 2012 when the WC was around. People getting things sent to their house and just ridiculously stupid, dumb bullshit. It's just like we're in kindergarten. Oh, I don't like him, mommy. I don't like his opinion. I don't like it. So you don't like somebody, that's fine. You don't have to watch him on, you don't have to watch his videos, you don't have to interact with him or her on social media. Just move the fuck on. Don't make it a 7 to 10 year fucking obsession. I'm not obsessed with anybody on this godforsaken website, even though people think I am. I'm not. But if you just can't move on from me saying what I gotta say on YouTube, and if you think my videos are boring, then why are you watching? You watch because you think that, oh, I'm gonna go on a live stream, I'm gonna clip certain parts of Peter's video, and I'm gonna make fun of him. Am I boring as fuck? Fuck Kool-Aid supporters who drink my Kool-Aid in every fucking live stream. I'm gonna say all their bullshit, but they're not gonna say it to my face, I don't care for live streams about me. I don't care. Because it's the same boring bullshit. I'm just gonna sit back, watch, and laugh. Because I don't need to do fucking back and forths anymore. I used to do with certain people that are pretty much now irrelevant. You know? I used to do videos on Sean's Entertainment. I haven't done one video on Sean in the last couple of years. Because I let him do whatever he wants. Now he's pretty much irrelevant. Same thing with JD. I buried him a couple months ago. Again. It took Sean 8 years to say something to me. And the video was dumb. It made me laugh. I'm like, oh, finally. And it made me laugh. I wasn't triggered or anything. JD kind of sort of mentioned my name, even though it was a fake account saying that. But I don't go on JD's fucking streams because JD's boring and his opinions are stupid. He's a male-chauvinist fucking pig that really should have got his ass handed to him by pretty much everybody in the wrestling world and the females as well, Mercedes Moné being one of them. Ricochet should have, if JD ever met Ricochet should knock him the fuck out. Oh yeah, JD was 160, whatever amount of subs he has. Big freaking deal. He gets more subs and more views than me. Do you think I care? No. I do YouTube for fun. And if I have an opinion, whether it's good or bad, I will come on YouTube and say it. And that's pretty much it. If you don't like it, that's too bad. You don't have to watch me, but you will because you got nothing else to watch. You just wanna watch my video and clip certain parts and then critique it. You know? Then you have your butt buddy chat thinking they're big and bad and call me names and want this and this to happen when it's never gonna happen. If it does, you're going to jail because I save all that shit. So your fault when you're in a jail cell. Not my fault because I don't have to do anything. I just sit back and laugh or just ignore it. But that's pretty much it. Alright, I went longer than I should have went, but I don't care. I had a lot to say. And if you like it, too bad. If you like it, great. If you don't, too bad. So, if you clip most of this, I don't give a fuck. But I had a lot to say. Because it kind of ties in, the whole Paul Walter Hauser thing with Roman kind of ties in with me and the whole, and you know, social media stuff. So I hope you learned something, and that's it. So Paul Walter Hauser, you fat fuck. Shut your fucking mouth and leave my tribal chief out of your fucking vagina. Your dirty vagina, okay? Shut the fuck up. Move on with your boring life. Okay? If you want to fight again in Ring of Honor with QT Marshall Knott and Boom and Doom, that's fine and dandy. And personally, I don't give a fuck about you. But if you ever say anything else about the tribal chief ever again, just remember, I have the camera, I have a voice, and I will be back for round 2. Electric Boogaloo, and I will put you further in the ground. So, if you see this, and you don't like it, tough shit. Move on, you fat fuck. And that's that. Acknowledge the prophecy and acknowledge the OTC. And that's Roman Reigns. And if you don't like Roman, then don't watch him. The same thing with me. You don't like me, but you will acknowledge me. And the prophecy, the greatest thing since sliced bread. And it's real. I proved that many, many, many times. And I'm not going to do it again. You missed it, you missed it. Bye-bye, so long, farewell to you. As I prove you wrong every fucking day. And that's all I got to say about that. Alright guys, I got to go to sleep now, but leave your opinions down below on the whole Paul Walter Hauser Roman situation. And that's all I got to say about that. So, thanks for watching this long rant. Another epic rant in the books. So, that's that. So, the Paul Walter Hauser one final time, shut the fuck up. And that's it. I'm out. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. See you guys tomorrow for more wrestling talk and reviews and all the other good shit you know and love. So, until next time, my friends, if you're not down with that, Paul Walter Hauser and everybody else that doesn't like it, I got 3 words for you. Fuck you, man. Remember it, because it's going to be with you until the day you fucking die, and then when you get reincarnated, it'll still be in your mind. And that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time. Peace.